248-539-9797. That is the telephone number. Now, Rico, I know you guys dealt with it on Monday. By the way, it's Stoney here in for Mike. But I worked Sunday after the game for the Lions post-game wrap-up show.
My condolences to you, Stoney. I'm sure that was an interesting show.
Yes.
You and Hammer?
Me and Hammer. Hammer was in Green Bay, and I was here. And I got to say that we all agreed, basically, that the Lions played like doo-doo. They got physically destroyed at the line of scrimmage, maybe mentally destroyed at the line of scrimmage when you see some of the miscommunications that led to some of the plays. But my whole goal was trying just to calm people down a little bit, not about what you saw, but what about might happen in the future. Because as we know from this, watching this league for years and years and years, many times, and I say most times, what you see in week one doesn't correspond, especially if you have a good team down the road. But people are already saying, let's look at the mock drafts. The offensive coordinator blows. Frank Ragnow is a traitor because he should have let us know beforehand. I've heard all sorts of stuff. A lot of it we heard on Sunday. But it's been, let's do my math, 72 hours basically, around there since Sunday's loss, something like that. You have Sunday's game going up against Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears, who basically fell apart on Monday night, as most of you know. So do you feel better about the Lions after watching what happened to the Bears?
248-539-9797. Tony, I got to think that Lions fans do, because I'm with you. I can only imagine what it was like Sunday night with you guys on the air, because Monday at 2 o'clock, we got full phone lines. Yeah. And then it was really everything that the Lions told you not to worry about.
Right.
You should have worried about. It's kind of like when that girl says, yeah, that guy that you need, you don't worry about him. And the next thing you know, you're like, I should have worried about him.
Yeah.
The offensive line, horrible.
Which was my number one worry going into the season. The coordinators, the schedule, the pass rusher, to me, they were all important, but secondary to the offensive line.
It looked as if it was going to be a long season. But I know every Lions fan, whether you want to admit it or not, you were watching the game against the Bears and the Vikings. And when the Bears went up and the Vikings, JJ was off there looking awful, you're thinking to yourself, oh, crap. Now they're coming to Detroit. Caleb starts off 10 for 10.
Yeah.
What the heck? What kind of voodoo is Ben Johnson working? And then the Bears fell apart. I got to think that after watching the Bears fall apart, after Ben Johnson comes out and admits he made a mistake at the end of the game, crucial mistake that may have cost him the game. Look, it doesn't fix the problems that you have, but the Bears look like a beatable team now. They look like a team that's still being constructed.
Right.
And you didn't know how quickly Ben Johnson was going to make this thing click. It started off well, fell apart. I'm wondering for Lions fans, do you feel better? Do you feel okay? Do you feel like your team should go out there and win and you actually expect to win? Because like it or not, this is a key game.
Oh, it's a huge game, especially who you play next.
We did the whole 0-1. We just did the whole 0-1 thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to fall down 0-2.
No.
Because it'll be 11% of the teams make the playoffs. You don't want to fall down 0-2 because it means Ben Johnson came in here and beat you on your home field. So there's so much was on the line. But then you watch the Bears and you watch them fall apart and you watch Caleb Williams go, well, Caleb Williams.
Well, it's funny because everybody likes to mention three letters around here, one that starts with an S, right? Well, in Chicago, it's S-O-B.
Right.
Same old Bears. The Bears bared. And look, JJ gets credit for he played very well, but in the fourth quarter. But the Bears were just
Ben Johnson. I mean, with 2:02 left, just kick it out of bounds. You got one timeout. You said, we're going to go ahead. And you saw he wasn't aware. And I think Ben Johnson found out there's a difference between being an offensive coordinator and being a head coach. Offense, you just worry about that. Head coach, you got clock management. You have so many different things. So Lions fans, do you feel a little better about this game coming up Sunday after seeing what happened to the Bears. 248-539-9797. Because I got to think that you are. I mean, you got to back away from that ledge a little bit because Green Bay looks like, until you beat them, they look like they're the toast of the kings of the North.
Right.
Okay? You looked ill prepared.
Correct.
It wasn't a close game. Like, you saw the Ravens and even the Bears and like the Jets, they lost close games.
Right.
You didn't.
No.
You were never in this game, and Green Bay kind of took the rest of the game off.
Right.
I think they threw 6 passes in the second half. They were getting ready for the Thursday night game. They got up.
The interception, near the end of the first half, that's when the game ended because the Lions are still driving in. Even if they got a field goal, it would have been, I believe, a one-possession game going into the half. They got the ball, but once that interception was, you knew the game was over. What I think is interesting, and I don't know if you guys got into it on Monday or not, is from a Lion fan perspective, I mean, everybody really wants to stick it to Ben Johnson. I get it. But
He's
in the
the
grand,
ex.
I know, but in the grand scheme of things, how you kind of think this division is going to work out and who's going to be a better team or not, JJ or not, whether you believe in him or you don't believe him, I think Minnesota's a better team than Chicago. So I thought it would be better if the Bears won the game. Then they'd come in here overconfident, maybe a little bit, whatever. Because Minnesota, I think, is going to be a bigger thorn in the standings than the Bears, even with a rookie quarterback.
You're right. You're gonna have 2 highly motivated teams at Ford Field this Sunday. The Bears, and they want to fix their problems. Dan Campbell, he wants to fix his problems. Minnesota, that's the problem down the line.
True.
Let's not worry about that because by the time you play them, Jordan Addison will be back.
Yeah.
And they'll actually have more weapons for JJ. So
Right.
let's not focus on that because before you get to Minnesota, you're going to be looking at Kansas City. You're going to be looking at Baltimore. You're going to be looking at Tampa. You're going to be looking at a lot more teams.
This game is so huge because, with all due respect, and I as a Lion fan, but as all due respect to the Lions, they lose Sunday. They ain't going into Baltimore on a Monday night and winning that game, so they're looking at 0-3. And I said before the season, I picked them 10-7. And I said, as long as they're 2-2, because they've Cleveland, I believe, 4th, 2-2 of their first 4 games, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
And they can get
0-3.
in. 0-3, start looking at the mock drafts. 248-539-9797. David.
And I have something, and I'll give it to you next. May make you feel better, maybe not.
Oh, you tease.
Okay, Doug
97 won
Karsh.
the ticket.